everyone. Welcome to Kwani Has Questions. And joining me today is a very special guest from Massachusetts, the CEO, if you follow AEW, Mercedes Moné. Welcome, the Moné.
Let's get it. Time to make that money.
I'm going to switch my questions around because I want to start with Mercedes Moné, the name. Because your former name with WWE, for those who are familiar, was Sasha Banks. And I was doing my little conspiracy theorizing, and I was like, is the Moné and the Banks, the money, all related?
You know I love to make that money because money changes everything. So, you know, when I was figuring out what is going to be my new name, just this voice over me is like, what do you want? I want money. And that's exactly what I got. So the moniker is here to stay because I'm here to make money all day.
Mo Moné, more problems, or no?
Mo Moné, no problems.
More problems.
No
I love that. Let's get into you being back here in your home state, Massachusetts. One thing I noticed on your Instagram we have in common is that your brother's name is also Joshua.
Yeah.
The Big Sisters of Joshua Club.
I love that.
But what does family mean to you, especially, again, being back home?
I mean, big business was everything for me, and for it to be in Boston where it all really began for me, and for my family to be here, my friends, my coworkers, my fans from all over the world. It just wasn't fans from Boston. They came from legit all over the world to celebrate such a beautiful and amazing moment. But to have it here in Boston was so incredible. To be out in that crowd and to see my brother's face, my mom. If people don't know my story, I quit school at the age of 13 to take care of my brother who has disabilities, and you know, my dream to become a pro wrestler started here in Boston at North Andover at Chaotic Wrestling, where my dream all began. And it's so crazy to see how far I've come, you know, from going to WWE and doing this women's evolution, being a leader of the women's evolution, to being here in AEW to lead this AEW global revolution.
And now
it's unbelievable.
It's beautiful to see. I love a good full circle. I'm a big sucker for full circle moments. TD Garden, AEW debut. The crowd ate you up the moment you walked out. How did that feel?
It felt, I'm still on such a high. I still have goosebumps because it's been almost 2 years since I've been on American television. But honestly, my fans really didn't make me feel like I was gone. I was trending every single day. They never let my name die, and it was just so beautiful. Just the CEO chants when my name dropped and I walked through those tunnels. The eruption was the biggest eruption I've ever felt, and I've been in professional wrestling for 14 years. I had the biggest goosebumps, I had the biggest smile, and I just felt so complete. I really found my home in AEW.
What do you think that says about you as an individual to be able to cross through companies, so to speak, and still have that recognition that people don't care where you are, they just care about the work that you do? I
feel it's so powerful, and I can only be proud of myself for putting in that hard work. I had to be so good that they could not ignore me. I had to be seen, I had to be heard, and obviously if you were at big business, if you watch every single week on Dynamite, we are heard, we are seen, and it's just larger than life. I am so excited to be part of this company, and it's unbelievable that people follow me everywhere.
Wherever you go. You mentioned the 2 years that you were away. I know you were in Japan wrestling, which is another full circle because that was what inspired you to get into wrestling to begin with. But during that time away, what did you reflect on when it came to whether it's American wrestling itself, but also just who you are and what you want to be?
I just reflected on how big wrestling is, and especially women's wrestling. We are changing the game every single week. We are breaking down doors. We are walking through doors. We are breaking down barriers. It is everywhere, and it's global. So it really just made me reflect how much more I want for women in this world of wrestling, and to make it so globalized that people can't deny our work and what we put out there. So it's just showing kids and people all over the world, if you have a dream, go follow it and follow your heart, and don't let anybody tell you no when you can't do it. You know, it was hard. I had to sacrifice a lot, but my heart led me to everywhere I had to be.
And you said that in your debut, if you want to do this, you can. And I love that you made sure to give that message. It felt like it was for little girls. But this could have been a more timely interview, too, because it is Women's History Month. And you are no stranger when it comes to making history. You mentioned being the first headliner for a PPV at TD Garden. So what do you think obviously the legacy is not over. You're still working and grinding. But what do you think your experience will bring to the flow that we want of women in wrestling?
I just hope to even elevate it to something more bigger and revolutionize it. You know, the women at AEW have laid such an amazing foundation for me. That women's division is so fire that it gave me so many dreams that I couldn't wait to be in AEW and tie it up with all of them. I think just being here, we're gonna lead to something just so magical that people are just gonna love AEW even more every single week, every single Wednesday, every single Saturday. So we're just on this ride. You know, it's fire, it's bigger than ever, it's amazing.
I know you've heard this question probably a million times at this point, but let's quickly talk about it really quickly. Sasha Banks is no more in a sense. That sounds weird to say. But what did you learn from Sasha? And then we could talk about Mercedes.
I learned everything from Sasha. I learned how to be strong, how to stand up for myself, how to be a boss, how to be a leader. And all of that taught me who I am today, to elevate, to lead even more, to go from a boss to a CEO is my mission.
A promotion.
It's the next level up. The next thing after that is hopefully being a chairwoman, a shareholder. Who knows?
Sorry, Tony. Okay.
I learn from Tony every day. He's going to teach me his ways. But no, just to keep on leveling up in life, I think people need to know to grow, and it's okay to grow. It could be, you know, nerve-wracking, it could be a little scary, but I promise you, once you cross that line, once you go straight through it, the victory and the energy is just so magical that you just have to live the happiest life. And I'm the happiest I've ever been here in AEW, so I'm just so excited to go.
That promotion that you explained is so evident. I will admit I didn't grow up necessarily watching wrestling, but learning about you over the years and reading more about you for this interview, I can see, and I imagine fans will probably be, you know, have more depth, but I see the difference between the Sasha and the Mercedes. The confidence is there. Yeah. There's more confidence. You literally commanded the TD Garden in the city where you grew up. But what do you hope that, like, young girls, but also yourself will learn from who Mercedes already proving to be?
What am I going to learn? I've already been learning so much besides just leveling up, you know. A boss gives orders. A CEO leads a mission. And that's what I'm here to do, to be a leader, to grow, to keep on gaining this momentum success for AEW. We are having the biggest and the most incredible year ever. Tony Khan got the greatest free agents in all of wrestling. The greatest professional wrestlers are here in AEW. So to grow, to learn, sure, but I'm already here. We don't have to do anything more. The CEO is here, baby. And
you've already broken barriers as a woman in wrestling, but I think the added and obvious and a very important aspect is being a Black woman in wrestling as well. What do you think it means, not only for AEW, but for wrestling, for you to be now a face of this franchise?
I mean, I am the first ever woman to main event a pay-per-view at the TD Garden. I am the first ever woman of color to main event WrestleMania. So if I can do it, you guys, you legit can do it too. That's all I can say is if you have a dream, if you just know in your heart that something is telling you to go do it, follow it. Follow your dreams, follow your heart, and just go after it.
So you got a chance to be here for a good extended amount of time. What have you missed most about Massachusetts? Because obviously you don't get to live here as much anymore.
I miss just being around people and the culture. You know, I live in Orlando and LA. You have to drive everywhere. Boston, you can just get out and walk, and you can walk for miles, and you can just get lost in this beautiful city. I got to run around the Charles River and see my old work. I used to work at the Royal Sonesta, and across the street was the TD Garden. And just to take everything in, I got to go to my favorite hot pot place in Chinatown.
What is it?
Shabu's Inn. I go there every single time I'm here in Boston. I tear up that soup. I love it so much. But just being home, I felt the love from the city. I'm walking down the streets. Mercedes, Moné, yes, baby, I'm here. Hello, good to see you. The CEO is here. Just the energy, the culture, the people. I've missed everything about being home.
I love that. I'm glad that you got a chance to be back. Final question for me. You're a very busy woman. You're a boss, a CEO, but as a CEO, you still got to take time to decompress and make sure that you're filling your own cup as well. So how do you find joy?
I find joy by spending time with my corgis. I have 3 beautiful, cute corgis who just bring me so much joy. And,
a mother of 3.
A mother of 3. And little do people know I'm doing music. If people didn't hear my single, The CEO, it's out on iTunes. You can get it right now. So doing more music, it's really soothing for me. I love meditation. And of course, I love wrestling. If I'm not doing anything, I'm sitting on the couch with my corgis and I'm watching wrestling, especially AEW.
What's the genre of music that you
Everything.
Produce? Okay.
I love, I'm producing a little bit of everything. Hip hop, pop. It's a mixture of just my own essence.
Okay, so I need to check that out.
You got to check it out. You got to get it right now. It's available.
Well, that's a perfect note to end on, Mercedes. Moné, I appreciate you being on Kwani Has Questions.
Thank you so much.